All right, so just to give you an idea of where we are today, we're in Whitsham Bay. We've come from Loo, which is about 8-9 miles that way, and do a little panoramic sort of spin here. This is Rame Head over here, and we've sort of come in to, we're using Rame Head as a windbreak essentially, because it's quite windy. It wasn't supposed to be windy today, but it turns out it is quite windy. And when you're drifting for flatties, you ideally want quite a slow drift, so we're using this windbreak to give us a slower drift. Another thing is, you can't see it, but I've got a drogue in the water down there, which, I mean, that is doing the business right now. It's slowing us down so much more than what we'd be without a drogue. So we're doing around half a knot. That's a nice gentle speed, and you can see on the rod tip there, it's just slowly bouncing. You see my dirty fingers, but yeah, it's just slowly nodding. If it's going like this, bang, 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 it's too quick. So I've got nice gentle drift here, only about half a mile off the beach. So yeah, really nice relaxing style of fishing this. Could do it all day quite happily. I won't pretend to be an expert when it comes to any type of bait fishing, particularly fishing for plaice. Something that I don't do much of, but this is what I'm using today. Basically a running ledger rig, sliding weight, and it's, in my experience, it is really important to use like a watch weight like this one here, that's going to puff up the sand as you drag it along. 5 ounce on this one on a slider, and then a short section of rig body here, and then the sort of business end here is a freeway swivel. But it's not your sort of traditional freeway swivel. It's one that can rotate around another swivel. And then we've got 2 hook lengths here. We've got a plain one with a 1/0 hook, and this has just got the sort of old ends of ragworm that I've used on other baits. It's just sort of there for a sort of bonus bait, if you like, a bit more sort of movement and visibility. And then the main hook length here, got a couple of beads. Whether or not the beads really do much, I never know, but everyone else seems to use them, so why not? And then a 1/0 hook, so a slightly bigger hook, and that's just got a single big juicy ragworm on. So 2 hook rig, quite a bit of sort of visible attractants going on there, something that's going to sort of waft a lot of sand up and have a lot of movement as we're drifting along here. And I'm just using a fairly light class ugly stick boat rod. So I'll drop that one in now, and we're not in particularly deep water here. In fact, it's only about sort of 12-15 meters, which is all you need for plaice fishing. I've never really found the need to go particularly deep, but the really important thing is, when you feel your rig hit the bottom, let a lot of slack out on your reel. So we're drifting at perhaps half a knot right now, and I've felt the lead hit the bottom. I'm just going to wait 20-30 seconds and just let that line go out, so that the line angle, we don't want a line angle like that. We want a line angle like that, where it's trailing gently behind us, because the idea is that the lead needs to be hard on the bottom, just puffing up that sand, bringing in those plaice. What you don't want is the weight going like this, up and down with the motion of the boat and the swell. You don't want it hopping like that. You just want it doing little skips, mainly dragging on the bottom. So I'm confident now that I've got about 2 to 3 times the amount of line as the depth of water that we're in. I'm going to flip the bail across. Sometimes I'll rest the rod, but really the best way to fish for plaice is to hold the rod in hand, point the rod tip fairly low, or have it either level like I've got at the moment, or slightly angled to the water, so that there's not too much tension on the line and you're not dragging it away. and just looking. Plaice will usually give really gentle little bites, little tiny rattles. We're monitoring the rod tip for that, and as soon as you see or feel those tiny little rattles, we're going to come straight to the bail arm, flip it over, pay out line, 10-15 seconds, flip it back over. Is the rattle still there? All right, slowly lift into it. With Plaice fishing, it's quite a delicate pursuit, completely different to what you'd be doing, say, with a lure, like I'm used to. But yeah, we'll give it a go today. Got a nice sunny afternoon for it. Let's see if we can get a few. All right, everyone, this is what we've come to catch today, the humble Plaice. Now, we don't get too many of them down here in Cornwall, and actually for me this is a really exciting species to catch, certainly when it's the target that you come out for. And they're just such beautiful looking fish with the orange spots along it. And as you can see, it's not the biggest Plaice by any measure, and they're a little bit skinny at this time of year, but you know, if we can get a few this sort of size and bigger, then they make very good eating. All right, here's an advantage of a SIB that no one ever talks about. When your mate needs the toilet and he can't go on the boat, you just drop him off on the rock and let him relieve himself. Maybe I should just go now and go catch some fish. I'll be back in a couple of hours, mate. Some sort of ruin here. Not really sure what it is, but there's steps there carved into the rocks, and it would have probably been quite a large building at one time. I can only assume it was some sort of facility for fishermen, being located here on this sort of like natural harbour, and high up on the rocks there, steps carved in, probably for the old pilchard fishing industry. But yeah, really nice calm little inlet here. Just go pick up Mark now. Just take it nice and steady. Always have the engine so that it can flip up if it needs to. Just gonna nosy in slowly. Graceful. There we go. And there we go. And then just reverse. Full 360. Lovely and calm in here. Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, let's get back onto the fishing grounds. Alright, well, the wind has picked up considerably now, to the degree that it's not really practical to drift for Plaice anymore because it's such a quick drift, the weight's all over the place. So we have come close into shore to fish some reef with lures. I got the Garmin here reading about 10 meters. So I'm going to be working a number 3 black minnow. This is the rose colour, so something a little bit different here. And I've just spooled up my Van Stool with some new PE13 braid. So let's see how this casts. I think it's going to absolutely fly. It's so smooth. 13 strand braid is just a revolution to me, guys. I mean, it casts nicer, it sinks quicker. It's more responsive. I just think it's better in every way than the 8 strand that I used to use. So yeah, we're casting lures out across the reef, covering a lot of ground, and just slowly working them back towards the boat as we drift, casting in the direction that we're drifting, giving that lure a good chance to get down into the reef. You can probably really hear that wind now, how it's picked up. Heavy as hell. What is that, mate? What have I caught here? It's just holding deep. Oh, that's not a bad fish. Oh, it could be a decent pollock, this. Really heavy fish. Potentially, yeah. I mean, if it's a wrasse, this is a monster wrasse. It's pulling the boat, me winding in, it's pulling the boat towards it. It's not ran at all, really. No idea what it is. Heavy. It's not a bass. Big old wrasse, I think.
Yeah, it is. Look at it.
Tank.
Jesus Christ.
Tank. Can you get net?
Yeah.
That is huge.
That's the biggest wrasse I've seen from here.
Yeah. Wow.
Look at the colours on it as well.
That's insane. Woo! Oh my goodness.
It's pretty heavy.
Oh, that's a tank.
Well done.
Nice pollock, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Right. Well done. That's not a bad fish for inshore. Yes. All right. Well done. Not a bad one either. Just seen a load of fish on the sounder. That's why it can be really useful to have the electronics sometimes, even when you're fishing over shallow reef that you know is there. And well, I don't usually cast back in the opposite way of the drift, but just because I've seen so many fish back there, sort of had to. Looks like a wrasse, this one. Yeah, wrasse. Nice ballon wrasse. Thank you very much, mate. All right.
Well done.
That's a nice bonus species. Let's have a check the colours out on this guy, because they're all a little bit different. Wrasse, every one's unique. That's a nice marbled colour on that one. About average size for this area. Just pop the hook out of him here. They love a black minnow, ballon wrasse. All right, let's slide this guy back. Great stuff. All right, well, the wind has really picked up now, so we're making our way back across the bay towards Loo over there. We had a good few fish fishing the headland back there, but we're gonna try a couple of drifts on the wreck over here. Well, we are now running back to Loo. The wind just picked up so much once we came out of the shelter of Rame Head. It wasn't going to be suitable for drifting over a wreck. So yeah, we're coming back to safety now, guys. And it really is nice to see the harbour again. We've done a pretty solid 10 hours on the water. Caught a nice mix of species, that's for sure, for this time of year, early spring session. Now you can see the swell behind us now is, you know, it's a couple meters, maybe a meter of swell. Just been taking it real steady on the 380 HD Maelstrom, only using about a third to half a throttle on the Tahatsu. Just ploughing through it. Get back there safe and dry, and we are back at the slipway after what has been a very productive spring fishing session. A nice mix of species across bait and lure, and we really did push some miles today on this boat. That trip in total comes in at about 22 miles, but you know, it's worth doing it when we get what could be considered a weather window. Definitely picked up at the end there. Got a little bit choppy on the way back in. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you found it interesting. Maybe you learned a thing or two about how to fish for plaice. It's something that I don't do very often, but I really do enjoy it when I go and target them and catch them. So that's all for this video. See you in the next one very soon. Thank you very much for watching.